Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu channel. Uh, to our viewers joining us live wherever you are, good morning, good evening. We are live on Ubuntu Sports, where we bring to you all the best sports that is happening in Zambia. And today we are talking about women's COSAFA tournament that will be starting in South Africa on the 31st of August. And to do the analysis with me, I'm joined by Lawrence. Lawrence, good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu Sports.
Good evening, Reuben. Good evening to our viewers, and so excited to be here and to get the show going on.
Lawrence, football is back. Almost all the leagues are up and running.
Yeah, almost all the leagues are up and running, and already a lot of drama we are seeing in quite a variety of leagues, Europe, Africa, everywhere. It's just happening already, and it's just that feeling that we always miss when football goes on off season. But this time around, we are back and live in action, and also Ubuntu Sports is here to cover the local football and also tournaments that will be happening around.
Just before we talk about the women's COSAFA, Lawrence, we also are aware that there is another women's team, national team that is in South Africa, but it is in terms of they're playing netball there, and they seem to be doing fine, Lawrence.
The netball team actually seems to be doing fine currently, and impressive because Zambia is not so synonymous with other sports activities, and I'm sure most of our viewers right now would not even be aware that the netball team is actually in South Africa participating in the southern tournament.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we were eliminated in the semi-finals. But tomorrow we'll be playing the third and fourth against Zimbabwe. And if we win, Lawrence, we qualify to the World Cup is it Netball World Cup?
Yeah. Exactly that. And it's unfortunate that we had to leave at these latter stages, but all the same, it's as good as the women's Africa Cup of Nations, where we kind of exited at the semi-final stage, and it's big congratulations to the team actually for making it to the World Cup. It's also their first time.
All right. Lawrence, last week we were talking about the Zambian Super League is back, and indeed it's back with drama. And just this evening, there was news that broke out at Nkwazi, Lawrence. Tsambalungu has signed for Nkwazi.
Nkwazi actually signing 10 players today to kind of boost their playing capacity there. And honestly speaking, for me, it was kind of quite a big news because it's very unheard of for a club to sign 1, 2, 3, up to 10 players coming into the team, and you start to wonder, did they have players at all?
Exactly. And one thing that is also surprising, Lawrence, why is it that they had to wait until the league has started?
Probably they had to wait and lose their first game and understand that they needed some reinforcement somehow. No more. I think they are not the only ones. They can't blame Kwazi for acting like that in the transfer market at such a late stage, because we also know of one Manchester United trying to buy each and every player that is breathing and is able to play a striking role. They are looking for anything that can score goals right now, because they have realized they need the reinforcement in that department after the league has started, and probably Nkwazi could be going through the same kind of predicament.
Do you think these players will be successful with Nkwazi? Looking at, they've not played together, and they've just gone in the season without any preseason game.
On a serious note, I think it's one thing that really baffles me right now, and I say this with a very serious tone, because I feel we're looking at 10 players coming in who have not participated in the preseason training, who have not participated in anything and will have to just join into the ranks, and probably we'll see some of them playing in the fixtures that is coming ahead. I don't know how they fit in, how they blend in the team at just this short notice. It's kind of unheard of, especially out of Africa, to for a club to sign this much number of players at this stage of the competitions already in play, and you expect them to tick. I think it's quite a big ask, to be honest, and I hope really they blend in. I hope all goes well with Nkwazi, because we all love Nkwazi. Who hates Nkwazi? I mean, the high flying side, and we all love them and you all want them to succeed. But I think this was just quite a dramatic kind of an event, and seeing them post that news really swept me off my feet. Really.
We saw Sambalungu during the preseason. He was with City Yamoto, Lusaka City, doing all the preseason, and everyone was saying Sambalungu will sign for Lusaka City and will be playing in the National League. But today, boom, he's with Nkwazi. Lawrence, we all know Sambalungu is a good player. Do you think he'll be successful at Nkwazi?
I tell you what, I know Sambalungu so well, and I've watched him play. I've watched him for quite a number of years, even before he blew up and all that. And I always wish him well, because, to be honest, he's he's from my hometown. I should say that, and I always want Samba to succeed. Of the many people, I want him always to be up there, and I don't know, but on this move, to be honest with you, I think it's really going to be difficult for him. It's really going to take quite a number of time, quite an amount of time for him to catch up and get into play and action with his new teammates at this stage. But I hope also he settles down as soon as possible. But it will really will take quite some time. But he's got all the experience. Let's not downplay that. He's got all the experience. He's a very well traveled player. He's a very well experienced player who's played at various levels of this game, and probably it's the experience he has to depend on at this point in time, on how he settles down and all that. So he just has to use that experience to his advantage right now, so that he can settle down as soon as possible. Otherwise, this is a very tricky kind of an arrangement.
A tricky arrangement indeed. Lawrence, let's look at the results that came in last week, shall we? We had a lot of draws in the first round of games. But talking of Nkwazi, they were the first team that opened the season. They were playing at Nkoloma Stadium with Power Dynamos and lost 1-0.
Exactly, and it's why I'm saying probably they had to wait. But kudos to Nkwazi, they put up a really good fight. Let's not forget, they lost via a Jacob Kaunda goal, which came in extra time, actually, and it's really a killer punch. You concede a goal that one goal right in extra time, and you just don't even have time to recover after that. You just can't recover, and it's very unfortunate for them. But all the same, it was a well played game. But in a nutshell, Reuben, from a football fan's perspective, it gets me worried looking at the results that we got from majority of the games overall, where it was only one goal in a game, 2 goals, one apiece, and that kind of a thing. I think there's only one game. I think it's the game that was played in Northwestern Province, where we had more than
Lumwana Green Eagle.
Lumwana and Green Eagles. Yeah, that's the only game where we got quite a number of goals from, and the rest of them it was 1-0, 0-1, 0-0, 1-1, and that kind of arrangement. From a fan's perspective, it really, a fan wants to see goals, and that's why people go. We want to cheer goals, but in match day one, the Zambia Super League denied us that chance to cheer as much times as possible for the goals. And from a fans' perspective, I think that department needs quite some improving.
All right. Let's welcome our usual analyst as well, Abia, in these studios. Because the Super League is back, Lawrence, and he was here last week when you were building up to the Zambian Super League. Mr. Abia, welcome to the program. I'm sure Eastern Province is fine as you are also preparing for the Kulamba traditional ceremony tomorrow by the Chewas. Good one, Mkuluba.
Yeah. Thank you, Reuben. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see Mr. Rollins as you. Eastern Province is is very well, and we are geared for Kulamba. First of all, we'll be waiting to receive our Excellency at the airport with the Malawian counterpart. Thereafter, we'll proceed to Mkaiga ceremony, where the ceremony will be held. So I think it will be a big gathering and a good thing to see at Chintu Chabuino.
He's talking about Chabuino Manning. Unfortunately, he's lost internet there. But Lawrence, let's look at the game for Lumwana and Green Eagles. Lumwana just coming back from National League. They were relegated, then they've bounced back, and they were playing against Green Eagles that surprisingly this season that sold a lot of players, Lawrence, and they humbled Green Eagles 3-1.
Yeah, actually, this was actually my peak of match day one in this league. Awesome game, actually, very dramatic, very entertaining. We saw Green Eagles pick up the lead via Hosia Silwimba. Awesome stuff there, and I was actually very impressed with Mr. Silwimba there for getting his goal. I was happy for him because I mean he's my tribesman. I can't be so much prouder and all that. Then all of the sudden, I think somewhere in the 70th minute or so, Lumwana just turned on the switch and boom, equalizer. Then in just 2 minutes later, they went ahead and killed off the game in the 85th minute. That was a done deal. For me, this is what fans want to see. The game played in Northwestern Province actually provided the spectacle of for the weekend, and I'm sure all the fans in the Lusaka, in the Copper Belts, were yearning to have this kind of a game in their stadiums.
Yeah, Mr. Abia, unfortunately, your team failed to beat 10-man Cowboy Warriors. It was a battle of brilliant coaches in Zambia. It was Chicken and versus Chambeshi.
Yeah, this was a very good, tough game for us. I think we needed to up our games as in Ghana. You can see our defense was not working very well. Our defense was disorganized. Even the players couldn't coordinate well in front line to find the scoreline. I think it was a pity for us not to find the goal. But you know, when you are one man down, what I have also observed in the football, in the game of football, even in the Premier League, when you're one man down, they are telling you to wake up your head, pull up your socks, and then you work extra hard. I think if you have observed in European countries where a team has been relegated, you don't see a flop of goals in that team. Even the team is fighting. So I think that's what Warriors did. They fight until they got the point. So I think for us as in Ghana, we need to up our game in the next fixture.
Yeah, indeed. You just need to.
That game actually, I followed it on TV, and I think the red card really impressed me from the defender. It's very rare that you get to cheer a red card, but I think when the defender saw he was beaten, he just had to take it. He just had to take one for the team, and I was actually impressed to hear his coach praise the defender, the red carded defender, for that. Because he even the coach understood the dynamics there. Had Mr. Bazo gone through on goal, it was going to be the end for Nkana, and just had to take the red card. Easy peasy.
Yeah, another draw came from Nkoloma Stadium. It was Red Arrows and Napsa Stars. These guys have met 3 times in 3 months. They first played the APSA Cup final. Napsa got the game. They won it 1-0. They came to the Charity Shield. Arrows won it 1-0. The first game of the Zemen Premier League, it was a draw, 0-0. Lawrence.
Familiar enemies, you know. I think at this point in time, these two teams are actually flying high. I should say they are doing very well in this league, and they will keep on meeting everywhere. Everywhere they'll keep on meeting at this point in time, and it's very difficult to pick a favorite in this fixture anymore, because it can go anywhere. Like the last 3 results have shown, this match can go anywhere, and whoever wins doesn't win it with a very big margin. So it's all about one error, one goal, and the match is done, and that is what has been happening. But at this point in time, I think they all played a compact and tight game. It was very tactical, and I should say highly contended game. Both of them, I think, didn't want to lose this one, because it was going to set the tone for the rest of the season, and they played out to a goalless draw. Not something that I'm actually shocked about, but I really expected Napsa Stars to edge this one. Like I said last week, I expected Napsa Stars to just edge this one somehow, but things couldn't work out. Or at least I would have been impressed with a scoring draw. 1-1, 2-2, probably I would have been happy. Though our league rarely produces that much number of goals in most cases, so not much of a surprise there.
And it's a bit worrying. It's a bit worrying also, if you can see our standard of football league in Zambia. Most of the games they didn't even produce more goals. It's only this one that we have been recorded, the 3-1 against Lumana. All these people are failing to find the scoreline. So it's lack of dribbling when you are in a 18-yard box to see where a defender is and where a goalkeeper is. You just shoot a pupumpu. So we have to stop that kind of shooting balls. Pupumpu, no. Ati bora pa muntu sipita. So we have to find a space.
Umuntu pa muntu.
It's like
okay, all right, gents. The main issue on this program is the women's COSAFA that will be coming up. But before we do that, let's look at the fixtures for this weekend, shall we? Because Nkana, Mr. Abia, Nkana will be being hosted by Beautycon. Your prediction for this game?
This is a tough one indeed, because if you can see Beautycon, they lost to Changa Rangers in the reverse fixture. So I think this time will not be easy to get point at Beautycon. We have to try harder, work extra hard. We have to change the system where we are creating chances and how we shoot at goal. We shouldn't just shoot because we have an opportunity to shoot. We need to see the position where a goalkeeper is, a defender is, so for us to get those points. Otherwise, it will not be easy at Beautycon to get 3 points. We need to work extra hard.
Lawrence, a big one this weekend is Zesco United versus Red Arrows, the defending champions, live on Super Sport, and it will be played at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium. All right, it seems Lawrence seems to have a challenge there. Mr. Abia, a big one there. Lawrence, are you with us now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. I was saying the big one for this weekend is on tomorrow. at 15 hours live on Supersport, and it will be played at Levi Manahosa Stadium. Zesco hosting Red Arrows, the defending champions.
Interesting game actually. This is an interesting game because we are looking at our representatives in the CAF games facing off tomorrow. This is actually a season joycer for us. The fans, I'm sure, are very much anticipating this particular fixture because it's a fixture which we expect we expect to be highly contended and also to be very much full of drama and goals. So this fixture in particular is one that I'll be following tomorrow. I'll be watching it live on TV so that I can actually get to see the levels of our representatives at the African competitions and all that. But I'm very much interested to see how Zesco fits in all the new signings and all that, especially for the high profile kind of game, because I think this is what will give us the player. This is what will tell a story of the Zesco side now. The players they depend on, the players they really count on, and players who are just there to fill up the squad numbers and all that. But this game, especially, I'm very much interested in it because we have to see the levels of competitions our CAF representatives, I should say this and I emphasize this, the levels of competitions they're going to bring out. I hope to see a good game. I hope to see goals there, unlike what we saw last weekend. I hope to see also players playing for their lives in this game, because the one who wins this gets an advantage. Remember, we are looking at towards the end of the season. We are looking at who gets the early advantage in the run up to the title for this year.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much, Lawrence. For me, I'll be at Hero Stadium watching Napsa versus the two new players from Kwazi.
It's interesting, actually. I please let us know if the 10 new players are going to feature, or they'll be on the bench, or they'll not even be in the match squad at all, because this is a very interesting kind of an arrangement. Trust me, very interesting.
Your prediction, Mr. Abia, for Napsa Stars versus Nkwazi. Nkwazi's got two new players in the squad now, including Sambalungu.
Anyway, congratulations to Sambalungu. Welcome to Nkwazi. But you have faced a tough team. This is a tough one indeed. And I expect Nkwazi to win by 2-1 tomorrow.
Nkwazi to win. Wow. Interesting. I'll be.
I don't know. Abia, Nkwazi, that's both 10 players today. How do they play tomorrow? How?
Wait, Mr. Reuben. Did I say Nkwazi to win?
Yes, you said Nkwazi to win 2-1.
I think I'm mistaken. I said Napsa to win. Napsa to win. No, Napsa Stars, reverse fixture against Red Arrows was a tough one. You see, they played well. In fact, they failed to score. But, in the Premier League, Napsa Stars, they always start good. So I think this team is going to produce something dangerous. So I think Nkwazi has to come with a loaded food with their stomachs for them to run good and energy, to have that energy. I think it won't be easy just because they have Chisambalungu. No. This is a wake-up call from Nkwazi. Prepare. Nkese na mulia. Napsa alikwata mano. They don't play this season. They are playing for high points. So I think in Napsa Stars, they will stand a chance to win by 2-1.
All right. One of the fixtures that we need to look out for, James, is the game between Power Dynamos and Lumwana. Do you think Lumwana will continue with their scoring football, Lawrence?
Yeah, they may score, but I don't see them outscoring Power Dynamos at this point in time. I'm sorry to Lumwana. They are actually my hosts right now. I'm a Solwezi resident there, and I just love the town. I love everything about Lumwana there. I love the football that they play, but I don't expect them to outscore Power Dynamos tomorrow, because I think this Power side seem to have come, and they really mean business at this point in time.
All right, and there are also rumors, Mr. Abi. I don't know if you've heard about them, but there are rumors that Sate Kampamba will be leaving Nkana and will be joining Mr. Chicken George at Kabwe Warriors. What do you think of that move?
I think that move is also good because the Cow Warriors is a good team. You know, if there is a good team in Central Province, it's Cow Warriors. And if there is also a good team that playing the Premier League, it's Cow Warriors. When you have a fixture against Cow Warriors, you have to say, Pane, let's work hard. This team, it has got, okay, I can compare Cow Warriors like Brentford in the English Premier League, Aston Villas, the Brighton, and the Leeds United. If you underrate them, they're gonna surprise you. So I think a move for Sate Kampamba from Nkana to Cow Warriors is a good move. I think he also need to up his game because what he needs is game time. So for him to be called into the national team, he has to go there and show that he's really Sate Kampamba, not that Sate Kampamba who went to Egypt and came back with nothing. No.
Lawrence, your thoughts on the move?
Well, I think the move is long overdue, I should say. I've heard the rumors, not sure if it has really happened or if it's really going to happen, not sure. But I think it's high time Sate tried to play his trades elsewhere. He's been at Nkana for quite a long time. I've watched Sate at Nkana for a number of years. And I think, let's just be honest as well.
That's
I
why
think
he's got the landlord.
yeah, that's why he's called the landlord, true. But at this point in time, I think I don't expect him to feature that much for Nkana, because I think one of the reasons is that I think age is catching up with him. Let's just be honest. You can't play at the same level for so long, you know. And Sate has actually done his best. He has done very well for his career. He has made his name. Even if he leaves Nkana, I think the Nkana fans will never forget that guy, because of everything he has done. He has dedicated his life to Nkana. But at some point, I think someone needs a change where they'll be able to play week in, week out, especially at this time of their career, because they are going into the evenings of their career at this point in time. So for me, it's a long overdue move. And if that really happens, we wish Sate Kampamba all the best. And may he also earn a name at Nkana at Kawe Warriors as well, so that we can see his name also being remembered by both clubs, and he'll be a legend there as well. If he can help them at least achieve something this season, especially.
Thanks, Mr. Abia. Do you think this is a big blow for Nkana?
Okay, it is a blow in its own, but I don't think we can say it's a very big blow. I don't think so, because uh, at this point in time, Nkana should have well planned for his exit, because he's been there for a number of years. I think they should have known if that's the kind of player they need. They should have groomed someone to play in his absence. At this point in time, that player should be there as well. So I shouldn't say it's a very big blow, but it would be a blow, yes, but not really that kind of a blow which should affect their season or dent their aspirations at point in time. I don't think so.
All right, thanks very much. Now let's shift our focus to the tournament that will be starting on the 31st of August, and it is the Women's COSAFA tournament. Lawrence, Barbara Banda is back in the national team.
Yesterday, I was invited into a discussion by some South Africans actually on Twitter, and they were actually bragging how they feel as African champions they should cruise through the COSAFA and and torment all of us. Uh, Somehow we had someone from Malawi who believes that Malawi actually have made very good strides, and someone from Botswana came in and reminded everybody that actually Zambia has Barbara Banda, and I was like, oh. So the whole lot of Southern Africa know that when she's there, there is a very big difference, and that is where I'm also proud. Barbara Banda is back in town, and hopefully back to normal business, and that is what we expect to see at the tournament.
Mr. Abia, Barbara Banda is back in the squad for the Polo Polo or the Copper Queens for the COSAFA national team.
Yeah, it's good to see Babla Banda back. This is also give me a big question. If Babla Banda can fail to play at the women's AFCON, how come is it necessary to play for CAF Confederation Confederation? This is where CAF needed to up his rules, its rules. Sometimes it's not good. Babla Banda is a female player. No one can change that. So how come disqualifying her? It's a nature, isn't it? Yeah. So no one has created the human being on earth apart from Jehovah God. So they have to see their rules need to be focused on whether the player is her eligibility, how it is. But now Babla Banda is free to play. Why cancel him at the women's AFCON? That's because they were fear that we can even lift the trophy. That was not a right rule to press on Zambia or press on the strikers from Botswana and other countries. We are killing ourselves football in Africa. Football in Africa will not develop with that kind of rule, which has no even its own roots. So I think it's good to bring Babla Banda back. We give us hope that we can even get a good result there.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. No Hazel Nali in the squad and no Grace Chanda in the squad because of club tournaments that are going on in Turkey and Kazakhstan, respectively, for Grace and Hazel Nali. Do you think this is going to affect the squad and the performance?
Not at all. I think the oneness I saw at the WAFCON was testimony for me to believe that we are actually able to fill in any vacancy with people that are on the bench, and that is what was one of my highs from this past tournament. I remember Hazel Nali didn't play one game, and someone came in and did a very wonderful job. Played very well actually. We couldn't even feel that there was a vacancy there, and we were all feeling very safe and all that. So I believe with Graveschand not around, Barbara Banda actually comes to take up the leadership of the team, and I think the ship is in safe hands. The team is still together, and wherever Grace is, I'm very much sure that she will be communicating with her teammates and always letting them know that she's with them, because this is what I've come to learn about these ladies. They are together in everything. They fight battles together. They lose together. They win together, and that is what a team is all about. They are a team, and that is why I'm saying it will not be that much of a blow.
Let me just go through the goalkeepers who have been selected in this squad. So there is Eunice Sakala from Kwazi Queens, Agnes Banda from National Assembly, and Catherine Musonda from Indeni Roses. So Catherine Musonda is the one that had replaced Hazel Nali.
At this tournament, I expect Catherine actually to be the first choice goalkeeper at this tournament coming up. And like I said, we are very much in safe hands.
Let's look at the defenders. There is Vast Piri from Zescondola Queens, Esther Banda from Busa, Esther Siamfuko from Queen's Academy, Agnes Musesa, Lucio Momwemba, Martha Tembo, all from Green Buffaloes, Judith Soko, Margaret Belemo from Shanghai, Shengling from China. So from the defenders, Lawrence, it's the same defense that we used at the WAFCON. Mr. Abia, do you think this time around these guys have built a team where we cannot allow goals anymore? Is it a defense that we can now rely on because they've been playing together and most of these guys, they're coming from the same club, that is Green Buffaloes?
I think our defensive always has been good. If you can see at AFCON, we just allowed a fewer goals in a match. So I think this defensive is going to help us. And I think this new player that has been called is for a wake-up call for us to see who others players can help at national level as we are preparing for a Women's FIFA World Cup next year in, I think it's Costa Rica, if not, yeah. So I think
World Cup will be in New Zealand and Australia.
In New Zealand, yes. Okay, good. So it's a good combination of players. I have seen the list, so I think it's really helping that a sort of players has been called into the cup to help at CAF Confederation. I think it's good, so that we can see how they can adapt to other players who have already been in WAFCON, so that how they can interchange passes and how they can the combination that can you can see their combination, and you can see the results that they will come up, whether it will help us in the Women World Cup or not. So I think this is a good preparation and this is a good side. So I think we hope for good for this defense to wake up on us.
All right, let me go to the midfielders. There's Irene Lungu from Green Buffaloes. This one's just won the top scorer award when Green Buffaloes was playing the COSAFA club tournament just recently. Then there's Mary Wilombe from Red Arrows, Everine Susan Katongo from ZISD Women, Natasha Witika from Vayesa Queens, that's in Nigeria. Then there's Avel Chitundu from Zes Kondola Queens, Maweta Chilenga from Busa, Misozi Zulu from Hakariku from Turkey. Lawrence, again, the same midfield. Do you think the coach is preparing this team for the World Cup?
Exactly. I think I love what Coach Bruce is doing with his team. I just love how he's blending the team, how he's not making so much drastic changes to this team, and how he keeps on maintaining preferably the same kind of players, because these are the games that we should use as a country to prepare for the World Cup. This is where we are supposed to build a team. This is where we are supposed to expose these girls. And if we are going to make so many changes and bring in different faces who are not even going to be part of the traveling squad to the World Cup, then we are going to just make it all go wrong somewhere. And Coach Bruce has just maintained this very team, kept them together, keeps selecting around them, even makes changes, little changes at a time, because he does. I think he's trying to avoid the destabilizing this team. And to be honest, it's been working out so far, and it's going on very well for him. Because Bruce and his second course team have actually worked wonders with his team from the onset, because he's been with this team for a very long time. He's been building this team piece by piece by piece by piece, and it's almost there. This is going to be a fully baked team if we continue on this trajectory. That's what I see.
All right, let's look at the striking system that the strikers that Coach Bruce has called in the squad. So there's Barbara Banda, like we've said, she's back in the national team after missing the WAFCON. Then there's Natasha Nanyangwe from Green Buffaloes. Then Ochumba Oseke Luvanji, Red Arrows, NLA Spiri, Police Doves. Then Mapepa from Lusaka Dynamo's Women Football Club. Lawrence, aren't you surprised that Ochumba Oseke is still being called to national team despite her not scoring any goal at the WAFCON?
She may not have scored goals, but I think let's also realize that it's not only about her being on the score sheet, but there is a certain work rate that she brought into the team. There is a way the coach actually asked her. If you remember during the WAFCON, we were here building up. I think it is a game versus South Africa, where you were actually wondering why we're not seeing Ochumba so much in the penalty area, and I kind of made an observation that probably there is a tactic that the coach is using because she keeps on going deep into midfield to search for the ball. And that in turn was releasing the acts of Grace Chanda forward so that they can make those pressing runs and all that. And I think the tactic worked throughout. And also remember that most of our girls are actually, when you talk of height, are not all that much, and she provides that as well. The aerial competition in from us can only come from players like Ochumba Oseke. I think to me, she's very vital, and I don't see why she should be dropped.
And most of these ladies, Lawrence and Abby, I don't know if you've noticed, immediately they came back from WAFCON. Most of them they come from military teams like Green Buffaloes, Red Arrows. They were recently promoted. Do you think this is going to boost their morale going to this tournament, knowing that if we win this trophy again, we have another promotion?
If I was them, I would actually work hard so that I can add another rank on my shoulder. Which soldier doesn't want that? You join in, you go in the military. You start from the lowest possible, and then everybody keeps aiming to go up bit by bit by bit, and everybody's aiming to the top. We saw this with the likes of Christopher Katongo and all that, also earning their ranks through football and all that. This should serve as a kind of motivation.
What's your take, Mr. Abia, on that?
And I think it's a good one to say that many players from Green Buffaloes, they are representing Zambia. You see, this Green Buffaloes is the only team that has shown that he is really fighting for an achievement. As you can see, beating Mamelodi Sundowns at their home backyard there in South Africa, it was not that easy. You can see how the morale of the goalkeeper for Mamelodi Sundowns, that she was thinking that she outcast Green Buffaloes penalty takers. But you know, when you compass yourself and the shooters also compass themselves, they shown her that this is not what it is. It is how you standardize it. So it's a strategy that Green Buffalo is coming up with. It's really showing that it's giving us a sign that at women's, at national level, it can really help. So I think it's good that many players from Green Buffaloes have been caught. So I think this area will help us. I think other teams, they can also copy from Green Buffaloes.
All right. So the defending champions of this tournament is actually Tanzania, and they'll be making the third appearance in this tournament. From your analysis, Lawrence, I think now we have got another threat. So it's not just South Africa, but there's also Tanzania in this tournament, who are the defending champions actually for this COSAFA. Sorry, Lawrence, it seems your mic is muted.
Sorry for that. I'm saying the history for Tanzania in this competition is kind of very interesting because go to 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020. This team did not enter this competition. They did not participate. And then they showed up last year and won it. Now, for me, I tend to wonder what they were doing in their absence. Were they building a team? Were they training and just saying, let's here we can't win. We are not yet there. Let's just train first, and then when we are ready, we'll go and take it on. And they did that last year and came in, went all the way and won the tournament. But I think there is always that complicancy that comes in from defending champions. So I think that will kick in for Tanzania. I don't see them winning this again. This one is actually between Zambia and South Africa. One of the two should lift this one. I really completely rule out Tanzania to win this one. Yeah, they're one of the favorites, but I don't think so. I don't think so. They will go that far.
Mr. Abia, do you think the battle is between Zambia and South Africa?
On paper, I can say yes, because Tanzania was not there at WAFCON, so I think South Africa and Zambia, they have that mentality. So, and even for Zambia, we have that caliber of say we have to go there and revenge for South Africa, because what they did and robbed us at WAFCON. So, taking Tanzania also, we should not just leave them out. No, let's take them into the competition. Competition is there for us to teach us not to underrate anyone who is coming in front of us. So I think that kind of underrating is a lesson for us. We should not to underrate any team there. We have to take each and every team serious. Like, for instance, in the first game at WAFCON, that is Cameroon, we could have said, all our mind we are saying Zambia will be walloped. According to their friendlies, the result, looking at their friendlies, what they were doing, we say, this Cameroon will be really walloped us. But you see, we came out 0-0 draw. That gives us a confidence that we can achieve. Look at the game against Tunisia. Tunisia, automatically, they played well with their first game, but they give us morale again after beating them. So I think when we are going there, any team that comes from in front of us, let's not underrate that team. Let's show that we are really WAFCON, we are really Zambia, with that we are fighting for silver medals.
Lawrence, with a team that Mr. Bruce Mwape has assembled, there is no excuse for Zambia for this tournament, isn't it? We need to see them in the finals.
There is no excuse, actually. If we have a chance to build confidence into going into the World Cup, this is a chance. This will determine the spirits we'll go with into the World Cup, because if we play badly here, then I think the morale that everybody has had for Zambia will kind of die down. And that is my worry for me.
All right. There is also a tournament that FAS actually has secured for the men's football. It's a friendly, but it's going to be a tournament that will make the men's football at least to participate in something, and it's called the Benghazi Cup, and Zambia is going to participate there. The Chipopo boys is going to participate in the 2022 Benghazi Invitation Cup, comprising of Libya, Mali, and Zambia during the September FIFA window. So we expect that. All right, so we expect that Zambia is going to take this friendly very seriously. Mr. Abi, I'm sure you've heard of this friendly tournament that will be coming. It's going to be a 3-team tournament: Libya, Mali, and Zambia. And it's going to take place in September. What do you expect in this tournament, Mr. Abia?
I think this tournament is good because it will help us to sharpen the team. So playing against Mali, playing against Libya, these two teams are tough teams. So we need to work hard. We need to pull up our socks so that we can see the results. Then another thing is for the coaches not to change the team always. No, they will not adapt to each other. No, let's maintain the same team. if it's to change, let's change 2 or 3 players, so that this team, these players, they can really adapt to each other. They can see how they entertaining their passes and how they combine together, so that when we are coming for crucial games like the WAFCON Africa qualifiers, we shouldn't have challenged that which one we are going to use at number 4, which one is going to play number 5, which one is going to play number 6. No. So I think let's maintain the same players so that they can even really know each other very well.
Lawrence, we're talking about the Benghazi Cup that will be played, that Zambia is going to participate in. It's a 3-team tournament that will have Libya, Mali, and Zambia. It's a friendly game, and it's going to be played in Libya in September. What are your expectations for this tournament? Lawrence, we can't hear you.
Sorry for that. I always worry for our Chipolopolo team because we have good, sometimes we get good friendlies, but we don't get the full team to participate. And for me, that is a problem on its own. We always never have a full team to play in our friendlies, and I just don't get it why it should always be like that. If we get a full team, each and every player that represents this country is present, and also the other countries do the same, then this tournament will be very meaningful and very beneficial. But at the rate at which the seriousness we take our friendlies actually is what worries me, to be honest. I hope
And
this time around.
Lawrence, the going first is going. This tournament actually is going to be played in the FIFA window, where you expect national games to be taking place. So no one will be busy with the clubs.
Even during FIFA windows, we never get the full teams for friendlies. I don't know why. It's been a recurring kind of an arrangement, and we always leave out some players. You find 2 or 3. Most notably, the European contingent. Usually, they don't come for friendlies. They only come for qualifiers and all that, and which for me is not a good, which is not a good show of seriousness on my part. So these games can only.
All right, you seem to have a challenge there, Mr. Abia. Time, as usual, is not our best ally, but the COSAFA, the women's COSAFA tournament is starting this Wednesday on the 1st August. What are your expectations? And I can also tell our viewers that we're going to beam the games live here on Ubuntu channel. We're going to beam the COSAFA women's tournament just here on Ubuntu. Mr. Abia, what are your expectations in this tournament? What do you want to see?
I want to see Zambia winning each and every game. Zambia winning, even beating South Africa, even beating Tanzania. I want to see Zambia winning because we are fighting for trophies. We are not a team that go there and participate because we are there and use taxpayers' money for nothing. No. We need to show the Southerners and the world that we are really a team that is fighting for silverware. So I think for the soccer fans and the viewers, let's together support Zambia. Let's support together support a good football game of Southern Africa. You know, it's good to see a competition from South Africa, a competition from Tanzania, so that these Northerners, when they look at Southerners, they just look at us as an underdogs. They have to see that, let's prepare very well. Southerners, this time their gears are up, so that when we are facing Easterners or we are facing the Westerners or Northerners, they have to really know that the competition is really there. So this tournament should make us feel proud, prepare very well, so that we can get results.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abia. Lawrence, we need to go, but before we go, what are your expectations in the women's COSAFA tournament? And Ubuntu is going to beam these games live. All right, we seem to have challenged there, Mr. Abia. Thank you very much for coming through to Ubuntu channel. Your presence always makes us happy, and we always feel that we are indeed Ubuntu because we we feel that Eastern part is part of Ubuntu. You represent the Easterners very well, and all the best for Kulamba tomorrow at Mukaika.
Thank you so much, Reuben. I think tomorrow will be a very, very good day because we are receiving His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. After that, we are going to proceed to the Kulamba ceremony. Thank you so much for the viewers. Continue following Ubuntu channel. This is the best channel that you can cooperate with.
Thank you for that. And you've heard for yourself, Ubuntu channel is the only channel that you can cooperate with. We love to engage you, our viewers. And when the games start, we want to hear your analysis, want to hear your views. We'll be sharing the links during the games as we do the analysis and as we do the commentaries for the games. I can assure you that we are going to televise the games just here on Ubuntu channel. All the women's, all the games live coming all the way from South Africa. And remember, Barbara Banda is back in the national team. So we'll see when the tournament starts. For now, it's good night, and we'll see you next week. God bless you.